Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Transitional Radio. It's great to have you. We're trying to do a new thing here and get things squared away here. I'm actually trying to run the show, just sort of like Brian is doing, and so it's a little bit unnerving here to be in control like that. But we are going to go ahead and see what we can do. I wanted to welcome everybody again to Transitional Radio. This is the home of Brian Brody's All Natural Being and IPM Nation's Sneak Speaks and Lee Rawley's Copy That Speaks. And this is our 32nd episode of Think and Re-envision. I'm Henry G. Noel, your host for Thinking Re-envisioned, where we are committed to making you think and make you question everything. I wish to thank you for joining me this Thursday evening. And in this life of ours, your intentions are used in every facet to affect change. Intentions, by definition, are a mental state that represents a commitment to carrying out an action or actions in the future. And it involves mental activities such as planning, forethought, and engineers, politicians, religious leaders, lawyers, doctors, everyone uses intentions to affect change or to complete a task. Now, as a healer, I hear the statement in reference to the effect of intentions on the healing process. And I believe intentions are far more complicated than simply a forethought. So tonight, how would you define intentions? So that's the question. Now, we are live this evening from our uplink studio in Cuenca, Ecuador, 2 degrees south of the equator, and the number 2 listened from city on IPM Nation in the world. We are broadcasting live on IPM Nation and Thinking Re-envision's Facebook and YouTube pages. I wish to thank all of our listeners from around the globe, listening on radio, those listening to our rebroadcasts, and you, our fly-on-the-wall video listeners, for taking the time to tune in. I would also like to thank our good friends at Wirecast for making it possible for us to be broadcasting both live and globally. And again, a big thank you to my brother for all that he does and all of the help that he has given us, both Brian and I, in doing what he does. He is miraculous, I'll tell you. To all of our listeners who wish to participate in the show, email me at henry@henrygnoel.com. It is my desire to present a show where everyone can be as actively involved as they want. Now, we trust that you have had an enjoyable Thursday thus far. I'm looking forward to this weekend, and I hope that that continues. So let's get into tonight's topic of how would you define intentions? And I'd be curious to see how it came up as an idea. So let's see if I can actually find the live feed. Well, we have it over here, I guess, which I wish I could get it over here on this other one so I can look more at the camera, but we'll see what we can do here. I'll refresh the screen, and I will see what goes on here. There we go. I think that's us right there. There we go. Now I have the feed. There we go. I was picking up a police live broadcast. It was kind of threw me off a little bit. I said, "Man, that sounds like me," but I don't think I don't think that's my call numbers, so I'm not sure who it was. But this is Alice. I want to welcome. Thank you for joining. Marcia, thank you again for being here. Rita, always love you. Candace, peace, peace, peace. And Wayne, of course, he's tuning in. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. I think we got this thing wired up and working. Candace, again, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it. Before I forget, I'll just jump right in there and get the announcements up here. Yeah, this is Thursday, so this is our last show for the evening. And as Brian said, I'm probably going to go ahead and take the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, that being that's the holidays. I'll be down on the coast anyway, but we'll fire back up on Thursday from the coast and see see if we can actually get it working. That'll give me 3 or 4 days to get it fixed up, but or rigged up so that it can work. But we'll take a look at that, and so we'll be back on Thursday evening, and see what goes on. And I want to make sure that I don't forget to do this and wish you guys all a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season and a safe one please, a safe one. I just really want everybody to be safe, and make sure you're back to join us in on Thursday. So again, Merry Christmas to you all. It's I can't believe it got here so fast. Another year gone. And so what I was doing was I listened, being a healer, we're involved with the concept of intentions all the time. Placing your intentions, and one of the biggest drawbacks or things that I've gone after with as far as intentions are concerned is when I hear people saying, hey, why don't we just get together and let's do a nice meditation together, and we'll go ahead and put out peace and love into the world and see what we can do as an intention. And I just got done listening to them talking about how they hate this and how they feel guilty about this, and I went, no, I don't think so. Because I believe there's so much more involved than just simply at that moment you feel like you want to, give love and peace. If you don't live it, then you can't just kind of turn it on. It's more than just a thought. And that's the way they define it, is that it's a thought, a forethought, and a planning. Well, you have to be prepared for that. You really have to be groomed for dealing with intentions. It's not just well, I feel like I'm in a good mood, so I'm going to wish the world peace, and I'm going to go ahead, and that's going to be my intention to give the world. It's not. Intentions are a way of life. It's a way we live our lives, and that's the part I think people miss. But I wanted to get your views on what it is and what's happening. Paul, welcome. Thank you so much for joining this evening. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Candace. Merry Christmas right back at you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think about what are intentions. And we have good intentions. Sometimes we hear about the bad intentions, and I'm just curious as to what everybody really believes in them. Arita says intentions are something we intend to do, but interruptions, distractions, or whatever get in the way. Most have the desire to do, but not the chutzpah to follow through. She's a poet and don't know it. I love it. That's really cool. That's neat. And but you're right. That's exactly what it is. We may have an intention to go do something, but we tend to drop the ball. And Paul Lamb, how are you, sir? Welcome, and thank you for joining the show. It's great to see your icon pop up. Thank you very much. And you're right. That's what it is. Intentions take more than just simply feeling good at a moment and wanting to give out an intention, because I think a large part of the problems that we end up facing in this world, well within us, and then we reflect that out in the world, is that we don't live it. It's not part of our makeup. I mean, we can sit here and belittle this and throw out the discrimination comments and all that stuff, and then turn around and say, you know what, my great intentions are, for peace and love in the world. Well, wow, it's not in you. How can you even come up close to saying something like that? So Marcia says, our best intentions should be love. Absolutely. Absolutely right. Thank you. Because that is true. It really is. And she says, love is the bridge between you and everything else. It is. And we cross that bridge constantly and back and forth, and that is what it's all about. So yes, I totally agree with you, and we really should have those best intentions, the one and only intention, which is love, and we should be living that intention. That should be our life, living the intention. And so again, your thoughts, I would appreciate it. So yes, so on Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we'll come back on Thursday evening. And this way we can just enjoy the holidays, and I don't have to worry about going too crazy with this. But we'll get it all squared away for you guys, and have it hopefully set up by Thursday. I'm not the technical guru that my brother's is, so I have to deal with my limitations. So, and as does Rita, actually. I'm her limitation, so it's okay. But that's what we're going to go work to do. But this way, then you guys can have a great time and just enjoy it and have a great holiday with your family, with everybody that's going to be associated with you. So that's what it's all about. We are 32nd episode into this, and it's just, this marvels me. It just absolutely marvels me. And I thank you guys up front here for for the support and the great comments and the words and the words of encouragement. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you know, a great intention, something that I think is a perfect example of an intention. With holidays coming up, we have New Year's, and everybody tends to do a New Year's resolution. Well, a New Year's resolution, that's an intention. So again, if we're not living the intention, how do we expect a resolution like New Year's, a resolution, to actually work? I mean, we won't follow through. As Rita had mentioned, you know, we just, things get in the way, and so we end up eliminating our intentions, our resolutions, and we don't follow through. And this is just one of those examples that I think it's really appropriate for what it is that we deal with in our lives. Is so much going on in our life that we just don't take the time to follow through, and that is an issue. So yes, so here we have New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolution. I never gave resolutions for New Year's, just because I felt there was a little bit more too stressful to have to do something or make sure you give something up that you really didn't want to have to give up just because you had nothing else to do. I didn't want to do that, so I just never did a resolution. So I'd never experienced that. But I do know from being a healer, the intentions that you do give and what you are in order to heal. It is extremely crucial that you are clear, that you don't have the hatred or the anger. You don't have these things that hold us back in our everyday life, and then go out there and try to heal somebody, and yet you carry this stuff with you. You know, you pass that on. It's just something that you end up passing on. So I don't find it very helpful to have and live in that kind of a world where racism and discrimination and hate and fear and all of that is surrounding me. I gave that up a long time ago. I don't believe in it. I think it's far more enjoyable to not have any of that stuff. So that's how I work with it. Rita says, she says, you are limitless. Yes, that's right. They are absolutely limitless. Everything is. Rita says, I have a superhighway paved with good intentions. Yep, there you go. And believe me, living with her, she does. That Rita is a walking, talking intention. She really is. Has a heart as big as all outdoors. And I never believed in luck, but I'll tell you what, when it comes to her, I lucked out. So she drew the short straw on this one. And but yes, I find that intentions, we mean well. We really do mean well when we do these things. But you know, when you've had a fight with somebody, you know, to pull that out, you know, to have an argument with somebody, or to let your ego get in the way to where you just didn't listen, or where you argued with your best, you know, your best friend, or you argued with your spouse, and now you want to go out and have a good intention. You know, it's really hard when you're surrounded by a lot of negative stuff to have good intentions if you're letting that negative stuff affect you. That's what I mean by that. I believe that the intentions goes way deeper than just simply it being, oh, I'm in a good mood today, so I'm going to say something nice, and that's just not the way it's supposed to be. Intentions are the way we live our lives. Dallas, welcome, Dallas. It's great to see you. It's great to see you. Merry Christmas to you. It's great to see you. It is very hard to really understand the involvement and the amount of work that's involved in trying to place ourselves in the realm of having good intentions, or having intentions at all, for that matter. It's this whole process of cleaning out, emptying one's backpack, dumping out the gunny sack, you know, leaving the baggage behind, all of whatever those fancy phrases are. But it is all of that. It's all of that. It's emptying it. You can't be positive carrying a whole bunch of negative stuff with you. I don't see how it is even conceivable. Merry Christmas back at you, Dallas. It's great to see you. You know, it's impossible. I mean, how can we be so surrounded by negativity and yet say that we really mean well. We want all of these great things for people, and yet we just were ragging on the very people that we wishing best things for. Not only condescending, but it just doesn't work that way. I don't think that that's how the intentions work. It's it's our positiveness. It's our world that we live in that positive world, and that's what we need to present. And I think it's a perfect example of walking the talk. You know, it's one thing to sit there, and like I says, the experiences I've had with people that, you know, just ragged about everything, complain about everything, everybody. I mean, they didn't have a nice thing to say, and then invite me to sit down and give peace and love to the world. You know, that's all I can do, shake my head. It's just, it's not plausible. It's just not plausible. That's not the kind of stuff I want to see get out into the world. I don't think that that's what anybody wants to see. All it is more of the same stuff being added to the world, even if you're trying to place it as a nice intention in that moment. But that's not where it's coming from. It's coming from a very negative environment, and that's not what helps the world. That's not what's going to change the world. That's sure as the dickens, it doesn't help the person change. That's for sure, surrounding yourself with that much negativity and forgetting the fact that we have all of that love and happiness buried inside of us. We haven't even worked to try to get to it, and that's what happens. So again, your thoughts on intentions. Are they good? And as Rita had mentioned about a superhighway paved with good intentions, are they platitudes? A lot of times, are they just simply platitudes? Are we just doing something because we feel like we're obligated? It's sort of like the New Year's resolution. People do New Year's resolutions because I think a large part of the time they feel like they're obligated to do it. And so if you're not wanting to do it, then why do it in the first place? Because it's never going to work. Candace says, people are a mystery to me. In cases of catastrophes, everyone will jump in to help, but then turn around and they hate and then hate each other. You know, that's exactly what it is, Ken. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you saying it the way you did, because that is, I don't get it either. And that's absolutely true. You know, we really do this. You know, you look at all of the school shootings or 9/11 or whatever the case may be, people come together. And then it's almost like you're together and you're in the same room, you're on the same page, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't really like this. This is not what I want. And all of a sudden, we're no longer together. It's like the desire to separate ourselves and isolate ourselves from everybody else seems to take priority over uniting. We can do it for a short period of time, but then we get distracted. We absolutely get distracted, and I think that's a large part of what the issue is. That's part of the stuff that gets in our way. You know, not having the chutzpah to follow through. You know, yeah, but yet every time that there's a disaster, the fires in California, the earthquakes, we team up, we come together. Something happens over in Europe, something happens in Asia, something happens in Africa. We team up, we supply food, we gather up money, clothes, whatever we can do, and we go out there and we provide. I mean, understand, humans are the most giving, but yet right after we give, we fall right back into the hate and the distrust and all the discrimination we just gave out, left out the door to unite with everybody for a common goal. I don't know what the turnoff is. I don't know what happens. It's almost like a switch turns on, and then somebody goes by and turns the switch off, and so here's all these great natured things, and then up, switches off, lights out. That's it. We're done. So I don't get it. I really don't. And I thank you, Candace. I'm right with you, because it is mind-boggling that we do this, and yet we are classified as social animals. That this is what we are. We need society. We need to be with other people, and we do everything we can to drive them away. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't, if you're just dealing with just people. Now you throw ego in there, now I can understand an awful lot about it, and I can catch that. That's where it makes a lot more sense, and how the pieces fit together was when you throw ego involved. Because with ego, it's all about the ego. And when you're giving to something else, you're not giving to ego. And ego can't handle that. It doesn't like being left out. It doesn't like being ignored. It doesn't like being embarrassed. It doesn't like the softer side of things. It wants everything for itself. And that's what we've been living our life doing, is providing for ego. So the minute we set ego aside and unite as society, I think ego rears its ugly head, and it just simply aggravates you enough to make you stop doing this. So again, to me, that is the only common denominator I can come up with that actually makes any sense at all. Why we can unite one minute and tear each other's face off the next. It's got to be the only thing that makes any sense is ego, because that is the only part of us that doesn't like the unity, that doesn't want the commonality, that wants the individualism, because it's special. So I don't know, and I think it's a great point, Candace. Thank you for bringing it up. It is a mystery. It really is. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't, like I said, I'm still working my way through that part of it. But the only thing that makes sense to me is ego has to be involved somewhere. Whenever it has to do with a human not getting along with another human, it's got to be ego that's involved. That's the only thing I can think of, because that's the only thing that ties everything together. So with that said, and I got to make sure I keep an eye on the times here, so because now I'm responsible to turn this on and shut it off, so I'll be paying attention here as best I can. From what I see, we have about 8 minutes. It looks like 8 minutes, and then I'll have to power it down. So anyway, is there something else that you guys would like to talk about? Something you want to bring up? It's Christmas now. It's coming up. It'll be here on Tuesday, I guess it is. So Merry Christmas, by the way, to everybody again. I really am enjoying this. I thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I'm having fun with it. Still nerve-wracking to me. I'll never get used to it. At least I don't want to get used to it, to be honest with you. But I just want to make sure I do wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hopefully that you have a very safe and sane holiday, that you get, that you're getting to do all the things that you wanted to do and plan. And if you have travel in your plans for the holidays, be safe, please. Please be safe. That is what we definitely would want. So with that, is there, like I said, is there anything you guys wanted to bring up? Be my guest. Jump right on in there. Not worried too much about the folks on the radio, because they don't have the link to the thing. If worse comes to worse, I get an email from them, so which is good. But it's up to you guys. So you're very welcome, Candace. You're very welcome. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit, or enough pats on the back, maybe, or maybe not enough credit for strength to really be able to go ahead and say, ego, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you helping me grow up. I really do. Thank you for that. But it's time for me to make my own decisions, and I'd like you to just sit in the back, and when I need you, I'll call you. I think that's partially something that we really do need to do. It's if we don't do it, then we never regain control, and if we don't regain control, then the unity that we can pull off, as Candace had mentioned, the unity we can pull off, maybe it would stick a little longer. I don't know. It just might. Well, thank you, Paul, very much, very much. Merry Christmas to you and to your family. Have a great, safe one. Marcia says, has been a great adventure. You follow the program. Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you very much, Marcia. Thank you. It's so fabulous, and yeah, it's a great. I mean, I love this time of the, obviously, with my last name is Noel. I love this time of year, and I mean, this has always been my favorite. In fact, I remember my dad, when we were growing up, would say, you know, if you don't keep the Christmas spirit every day of your life, I'll take your name back. And I always loved that. To me, that was always the greatest thing. And I knew him; he'd do it. He could do it. Um, but Candace says ego stands in the way of the truth, and pride is just as bad. If you think about it, absolutely it is, and that is the big one. Thank you for putting that link in there, Candace. That comment, because you're right. Pride is ego's hand in hand partner. It is, and that is a major issue that we deal with. Is pride. We have been taught, and you know, we have been taught so much on how to deal with pride, to be proud, you know, proud of your heritage, proud to be an American, proud to have gone to some university or some high school, proud to be living in some state. We're proud to be part of this country. We're proud to be part of the military. And we wave the flag and wave the flag and wave the flag. It's all ego. It's all ego. That's really all it is. And once you understand then it starts to not make sense, and why we do it. So yes, I thank you very much, Candace. That's exactly what it is, hand in hand with pride. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Marcy. Appreciate it. Dallas, love you too. Let's see. Rita says, "Oh my, pride is a good one, and maybe for a discussion." I think pride would be a great discussion to deal with, and maybe we'll do that on next Thursday when we come back. We'll talk about pride and the associations with it, and how pride gets developed, and how we are willing to die for pride. It's pretty wild. Yep, keeping an eye on it, bro. Thank you very much. Yeah, not having him sitting right here on my other screen is kind of interesting. You're not going through rendezvous, so we'll keep an eye on the time. It's yeah, about 2.5 minutes to go, and we will make sure we're down right at the hour. So actually about 2 minutes. In fact, we'll cut it down here in just about 30 seconds or so, just to make sure that Brian has enough time to get things squared away. So anyway, I want to thank you all, guys. Merry Christmas to you all, and I'm going to say good night. And we'll see you on Thursday when we come back. And so have a great holiday. Be safe out there, please, and come back to me. Will you please come back on Thursday? Take care, and thanks a million. Hasta luego.